say Minecraft totally has a plot. I love this game. I think it's probably my favorite game of all time. You already know what Minecraft is. As I mentioned in my review of Minecraft Dungeons, the massive money-generating IP is a core part of modern gaming culture, if only as a meme for some people. I don't really watch Twitch or anything, but people are actively streaming themselves playing this infinitely generated random survival game still, including myself. And outside of its main survival mode, you have creative mode, where your adolescent child can craft as many cubic castles as they want while flying over the procedural terrain. And that's not to mention the proliferation of mobile and console versions of the game, which Microsoft has pushed out since they took on their majority share of Mojang way back when. And speaking of shareholders, I do have to begin this video with a bit of a caveat. I love Minecraft. The game, along with the history of its development, is deeply meaningful to me, which is why I'm thankful that certain conspiracy-toting, transphobic, Nazi rhetoric-guzzling neckbeards are no longer part of that story. Fuck Notch, and everything he stands for nowadays. Also, this video only pertains to the core gameplay of the Java version of the game, so keep that in mind. With that out of the way, what really happened in Minecraft? It's you and I bouncing on our parents' bed, playing a game of Power Man. I think I'm 6. You're probably 3, because I think it's sometime in July. It was an escape, either from having a little brother or from a new town. Although I didn't realize it at the time, I made up Power Man so I could be the hero and you could be the bad guy. Kids can write the cruelest fictions, up to and including those that paint our siblings as lava monsters, from which we have to obtain special power gems. Eventually, you became a sidekick. I'd even play yours sometimes. We were plumbers, strange orbital robots, or professional skaters, and we would make new worlds in our minds as well, outside of those digital spaces. Mine was called Dark Ages, a quaint title, but I had entered middle school and had given up on the kiddie, cartoonish stylings of lava monsters and power gems. Or maybe it was because we moved again. I'll never be quite sure why. But I know you started making your own worlds, separate from mine. Hell, I realized there were worlds in the minds of others. This was an uncomfortable thought, and for a while I retreated into those spaces, digital or otherwise, so that only my world's closest neighbors could enter. When starting a new game in Minecraft, you're not given a tutorial. You are spawned, thrown if you will, into a procedurally generated landscape with a name of your choosing. Although you only have rectangular prisms for arms and, well, hands, it becomes apparent right away that because this is a first-person perspective game, clicking the left mouse button is probably going to do something destructive. So you start breaking blocks. Some of them are easier than others, and assuming you're not already aware of the Minecraft wiki, you realize that maybe you're doing something wrong. When you hit tab, it used to be tab, why can't I just assign keys? Come on, Mojang. Just make tab default again. To open your menu, there's a 2x2 square. Thinking with your smarty parts, you put some wood in there in every combination, and bada bing bada boom, you got yourself a workstation and some crafting ingredients. It's an intuitive system, and with time you learn to experiment, combining crafting ingredients on the 3x3 grid of your workstation as minutes pass and your mind freely wanders. What you don't realize is that the sun is about to set. Also, isn't this massive world kind of empty? Unless you're lucky enough to have Old McDonald's flock nearby to butcher yourself some food, the sound of a moaning zombie or a skeleton's shambling may be the first sign of life you notice. Or unlife? Minecraft canon is still iffy at best. For most of us, the first night on your first world is an exciting scramble to correct your lack of urgency in real time. as you become aware that you're not alone. In the night, everything seems like it wants to hurt you. So you turn in if you're lucky enough to have a bed by sundown. Otherwise, you stay up, watching the moon slowly creep across the sky, huddled against the glow of your furnace until morning. Having met this strange new world head-on, the second day is when you can start making informed decisions about how to interact with the world. That's really when you can start playing the game with any sense of direction. And play you do. I'm about 11. We're at a friend's house, I think, for the second night in a row, and we're discovering the internet. We had a computer ourselves, but our parents actually gave a shit. We couldn't just go trawling the seabed of the open web. We had to surf a little closer to the beach. I think he was the first one to suggest searching, not knowing anything other than what we had learned from movies and TV about sexuality. The three of us embarked on a palpably hormonal expedition to... I honestly don't remember. I think I blocked out most of that night, up to the point where we retreated into the familiarity of RuneScape. But we explored. That was the important thing. We were learning about ourselves within the safe walls of that log cabin-esque ranch home. The only prying eyes we had were the mounted deer heads, such as life in East Texas. So in many ways, we were experiencing freedom, true freedom, for the first time. Most people start venturing off into the wilderness on day 3 or 4 in my experience, unless you're one of those poor unfortunate souls who started in a desert or tundra without any trees nearby. You might have fled spawn a little more abruptly in that case. This phase is, I think, the most exciting and engaging part of Minecraft. You haven't started a big construction project, but you're not pressed for vital resources. You have the lay of the land around you, but you want to see more. So you grab a boat and find the nearest shore, placing torches and other paraphernalia so that no matter how far you go, you can always find your way back. Over the course of multiple days in-game, you will have traveled thousands of blocks in nearly every direction, maybe with the help of a compass or a map, all in search of, well, nothing in particular. That's the fascinating thing. The world is just dangerous and strange enough to keep you constantly peeking over the horizon for that next adventure, until you stumble across something that holds your interest for a while. It's usually around this point that you start finding more structures, as they generate with greater frequency the further you get from spawn, and you meet the inhabitants of this pixelated world, the villagers. Each of them has a unique look, with histories and skills that may be totally alien to you on your first playthrough. You meet a blacksmith, a librarian, a farmer, and a menagerie of figures to learn from. You can start enchanting. You name your first weapon by using your first anvil after looking the recipe up on Minecraft Wiki because you're starting to notice this 3x3 grid is a bit arcane. Of course, Mojang would later add a recipe book, preventing you from having to engage with the broader community in order to learn things, keeping you firmly within a walled garden of their creation, mining, crafting. Stay in your cage, player! And in time, you realize that you can do anything, as long as you have the resources. You start taking time to do work, because if you put in the labor, you can get even more of all the cool stuff you now know how to make. A day or two deep underground yields your first diamonds and you've got it made. Which reminds me, I need to craft some torches. Wait, how did I already run out of coal? And oak planks? I guess I could start a nursery, maybe level out that field over there? Oh, and I'll need more fences to keep the creepers out so they don't mess up my rows. I'm 26. We don't see each other much. I have a house and a kid on the way, who, at the time, I'm not sure I'm ready for. Everything is in place for my end game, you know? I've built up walls where I need them. I've met nearly every challenge someone, given my amount of privilege, could meet, though rarely with aplomb. And though I should be truly happy, I'm so bored with everything. Maintaining the house is its own fun sort of mini-game, but it's starting to feel like wasted time, you know? Not because it's not important, it's just... I don't know. I shouldn't talk about it. I'm really lucky, but everywhere I look there's greener grass, redder fruit, more interesting stories to be told. Some people may call it temptation, or a quarter-life crisis, but the truth is I just hadn't bothered to find myself. And at this moment in time, I don't know that it's possible to do so. Of course, it's too early for me to realize that at this point. I'm just going to keep putting off that nagging feeling that there's something more out there and work on my house, because it's too difficult to think about the risk of going there. I think everyone has that moment eventually, after a 10-hour straight play session where you climb the nearby hill to look down on your painstakingly planted farm or ranch and think, what the hell am I doing here? Maybe you log off for a bit. You know, the Master Chief Collection is pretty great now on PC if you need a little kick of nostalgia. Or you could check Instagram for a bit. Maybe scroll through Twitter just to check out and forget about the countless hours you just spent putting labor into something that you'll never see any real fruit from. Just like blocky virtual watermelons. And after you recover or get bored enough with everything else, you hop back on and continue your quest for optimization. Because by now you understand that pretty much every inconvenience is preventable, as long as you've got the resources. And boy, do you have the resources. A creeper-proof house, fenced-in farm, happy, loving livestock, torches filling every square inch of land with light for a mile in every direction, an optimized mine at just the right depth to maximize diamond extraction. After a while, it gets stale, honestly. This is usually where I would start a new world, or if it's on a multiplayer server, this is where I'd try to start some kind of group project to prevent the irreversible switch to creative mode. So many dicks. But you can quell the bitterness of boredom with even farther reaching public works. You could map the lands around you for hundreds of kilometers and become your own bona fide world builder. I'm a fan of the server-wide rail system, or even better, creating a network of minecart stations through the nether with hubs in the overworld, decreasing your travel time by multiple orders of magnitude. You could even bend the world to your will, shaping the very cubes of reality to leave a permanent— wait, no, that's a dick again. Since its full public release, Minecraft has always had a sort of endgame, though. A gameplay arc, if not a fully formed plot. And that is to defeat the Ender Dragon. I'm fucking 30. Why am I on YouTube? I mean, I wanted to be for a long time. Back in college, we had all talked about doing some kind of visual media together, but no one in our friend group really had the focus to put any time into it. Although it wasn't long ago that one of us started doing some stuff here. Maybe that was part of my inspiration for this, if only subconsciously. Maybe it's just that lack of focus rearing its head again, the need for a challenge or for instability. I realized that until now I forgot how invigorating aimlessness was. The not knowing, the thrownness. Of course, I wasn't thrown out of complacency. I sort of hacksawed the safe structures of career and nuclear family out from under me, sending myself falling at terminal velocity down a pit of uncertainty. I know I'm being flowery with my speech, but it's only because it's still kind of hard for me to talk about it. I can see you at 27, hopefully not making the same mistakes that I made, but hopefully still finding yourself in spite of that. Only you can make those beautiful worlds you made, apart from me, apart from any friends or family, and I hope you're still making them. I had forgotten how to make my own, so I sort of had to do a hard reset on the whole me thing. And I'm not saying it's the most important, creating, making meaning that way. I really believe that we all come into this world with the drive to create meaning. We just approach it from different paths. We arrive at different stations. We're thrown into different situations, and over time, we're jostled and pushed into increasingly complex lives. We become the sum of not only our big decisions, but all of the tiny, meaningless decisions we make every hour of every day. The ones we don't think about because that's how everyone else does it, or because of the country we're born in, or social pressure. The ones we make because it's convenient, or civilized. And it's unfortunate, but sometimes that search for meaning can come up wanting, or the challenge is too great, so we settle back into complacency. We push out the uncertainty because it's too uncomfortable or too dark, because we're afraid to confront the end. I promise it's worth it. Confronting the end, overcoming it, not giving up, pushing past the uncertainty. I honestly don't know how you're supposed to find out about the Ender Dragon in-game. I guess you're just expected to stumble across a stronghold? In my case, I learned about it from the dev posts leading up to the release of 1.0, so it was perhaps less surprising and dramatic for me. Of course, slaying the beast and returning home was a whole other question, which we'll put a pin in for now. When I beat my first Ender Dragon, I don't remember it being very difficult. I think back then, in the 1.0 version of the game, it had a few less offensive maneuvers than it does now. Needless to say, in revisiting the game, I was reminded many, many times that leaving the safety of the overworld into the inescapable void of the end is not without consequence. The first time I attempted to slay the dragon, I thought, incorrectly, that my amazing enchanted sword could do literally anything to it. After facing that admittedly harrowing reality, I pivoted. My farm? It's now chickens all the way down. And why do I need diamonds, when I can only make arrows out of flint? Because what I really need is arrows. So many arrows. I enchanted my bow, made a fresh, yet expendable, suit of armor, and set out into the void again, and again, and again, until I finally did it. Drained of resources, but confident in this newfound purpose, I laid aim one last time for the heart of the beast, and my aim was true. In that shower of purple sprites and experience points, I found true joy, pride, even meaning again. Disregarding the egg it leaves behind for now, because even 10 years later I always forget how to pick it up, I faced down the portal home. The portal to safety, knowing that I cannot return the same man I was when I entered. And then the credits roll and, well, I think it's time to revisit that pin. Hey everyone, Joe from the future here. I wrote this script before I realized how long it would take to actually read out the entirety of the Minecraft end poem, so that's going to be its own video. It should be up around the same time this video launches, so if it is, it'll be linked in the description and probably up in the clicky thing over there. Yeah, go check that out once you're done here. I would greatly appreciate it. In the end poem, you have a sort of cosmic experience in which two godlike entities explain in numerous ways that you are dreaming. That Minecraft, your experience of it, even the world outside of the game, is an emergent property of you merely existing as a conscious being. Even the entities in the end poem that are trying to explain these Gestalt concepts to you imply that they too are a figment of your own imagination. They are you. As a teen playing through Minecraft for the first time, I was vaguely familiar with the concept of existentialism. I think we had covered it in my psych class. It wasn't clear to me until college, though, a year or two later, just how good an allegory Minecraft was for my own experience in life. I think Minecraft in general, and the end poem in particular, actually had a hand in me becoming a self-identified existentialist. So I've been wanting to make something like this for a while, and I probably could have done a better job of tying some actual existential theory into Minecraft's gameplay mechanics, world building, or lack thereof. But this video quickly became something different. A sort of Gestalt therapy session or something, I don't know. My point is, Minecraft totally has a plot. It's me, and it's you. It's every world you create in and out of that digital space. It's everything you build and everything you erase in your own pursuit of meaning. And I think it's beautiful. This was a much more personal video than I'm used to, and it kind of feels good. I don't know. I guess tell me in the comments if this whole thing was just kind of cringe, or if, and I hope this is true for some of you, that it resonated with you on some level. I'd love to hear it. In the future, this channel will be getting a little more personal, a little more philosophical, a little more political, and I sincerely hope that's something that interests you. It interests me, so I guess that's all that should matter. I will openly admit that I've long wanted for somebody to derisively refer to me as a bread tuber. Anyways, leave me a suggestion for the next video in the comments below, and please, dear God, like this video because it makes a huge difference in YouTube actually sicking the algorithm on my channel. Thank you as always for watching. I will see you in the next one. Until then, I love you. Bye.